when I was working in tech sales, that's not really a story, I guess, but I was about to take a call for my agency. This is like 2022 when the agency was still a bit stuck, coming out of COVID. And I was working for that tech sales company, and we were about to do like a party on one of these boats. I think one of them was called the Lady Cutler or something like that. And it was funny, like I was like one of the youngest people at the company. I was like 21 at the time. And they were like, hey, you should come to the after party. And these are guys are like in their late 20s, early 30s. And like some of the chicks were bad. I'm not gonna lie, some of the chicks were baddies. But I was like still like so, again, the topic prior was about routine. I was so fixated on like, nah, I gotta take my consulting call for my agency. I wasn't even gonna get paid for it. And I was hoping to eventually upsell the guy for like $200. Like this was 4 years ago, by the way. So much can change when you put in such an absurd amount of reps that makes it difficult for you to fail, because even that paradigm, I wouldn't accept a $200 consultation. Like if someone's gonna pay me for an hour, and they're not like a friend of mine, a friend of mine or something, I have no issue charging $5K for an hour. Because I'm gonna give you advice, one, but I'm gonna also inject a conviction into you that will steer you for the whole year, right? It's gonna just level you up, right? But anyway, so I leave the call, I can't attend it, I take the call. And then like, I think, I'm not sure if these guys got fired, but I think it was that one, it was the other one, whatever. Excuse me, is this called the Lady Cutler? One of the two? There you go, I knew it, thank you. So the Lady Cutler, there you go. So we took the Lady Cutler, and I didn't go to the after party, and I found out they were doing, let's just say, corporate shenanigans, and as a group, and I was like, whoa, I didn't know that this was real. Sometimes you just hear these things on like Netflix or like Reddit, but so that was a funny story. But yeah, like there's so many moments, especially when you're trying to build momentum, where you just have to go against the consensus. And sometimes the beauty of that, especially if you do it when you're young, is you have so many stories. Like failure will give you more stories than winning will. I have thousands of failure stories in sports, in music, in the arts, in monologues, in public speaking, in business. Like I've had businesses that have had 2 people rock up to my new nightclubs. I'm probably owed, I reckon, like $250,000 in unpaid invoices. So like when people say like, oh, like, you don't know what it's like. Nah, bro, I probably know what it's like even more than you do, because I embrace more volume. Like for me, when clients owe me money and they're behind, first of all, most clients are on direct billing with me. I'm very honest with them. I'm like, look, if you want to work with me, by the way, not for everyone, but if you want to work with me, you're going to fill out this Stripe link. You're going to charge every 30 days. The first 3 days are going to be free. You're going to meet my team, right? But if that's not for you, that's not for everyone. Like I'm strict, because like I know how humans can be, and I'm a human, right? So I get that. But guys, failure just gives you stories. What you don't want to do is get to your deathbed and then have like nothing to like share. Like look how beautiful the city is, right? Imagine having all kinds of I've got memories. I've got at least 20 to 30 memories on this strip. Some with women from different parts of Australia, some with things related to Kosa, some with content, some with corporate stories. And I'm only 26. And I don't say that begrudgingly is not the word. I don't say that to impress upon you something. I'm saying that to demonstrate the importance of having a vast life lived, because you want to have stories to tell. Imagine, you're 43 years old, you have 2 kids, you're putting them to bed, they're saying, hey, look, what was your 20s like, Dad? I've seen all these pictures of you. If you just said that you were in a corporate office for 20 years, and you did the same thing every day, and you went to a couple coked out corporate parties, where people were doing their corporate shenanigans, I mean, there's only so much you can share. And that's a bit boring. But like, where did you fail? Where was the heartbreak? Where did you go overseas and you nearly got lost? I got lost in an island when I was 14 years old, okay? And my mom and dad had to call the authorities in Hawaii. That's a real story. I'll probably tell that later today. But things like that add dimensions to your personality that make you interesting. And an interesting life, I think, above all things, apart from the religious side of things, is a life that's well lived.